What's up? What's up? I got to get into some more stuff, and I talk about this with another thing I think we talked about in the first episode of Provocative Thoughts. Just like talking about the elements and understanding what we tap into. Everything we tap into is a part of us. No matter we talk about books, no matter we talk about art, music, food, etc., etc. And I talk about this all the fucking time, but it's like I have to try to make this shit resonate. I have to. But it's like when we read a book, we're reading ourselves. When we like parts of that book, when we dislike parts of that book, when like we're reading ourselves. I don't give a fuck if you didn't write it or not. Like you're reading your fucking self. Like period. Even when you're listening to somebody talk, you're interpreting their everything they say through your thoughts. So it's like how do I want to explain it? Like, if this is what I just said was difficult. The second thing was a little difficult, but in a sense of you're always like finding yourself in somebody's voice, like you're trying to hear, and what you're trying to hear, what they're trying to say to resonate with you. If like, cause think of it like this: if they were speaking a different language, I wouldn't be able to compete. Like you wouldn't be able to resonate at all because y'all don't understand each other. So, and that same shit, like if they were talking some shit that you had no idea that didn't resonate with you, you wouldn't be talking to them in a sense, because you don't vibe with them, you don't check with them. Y'all have nothing or like nothing in common. So like they're not inside of you. That's why y'all don't resonate. And that's how you go to your attractions and understanding why people come into your life and certain things like this, good, bad, or indifferent. They're still a part of you, nigga, and that's why they're in your life. It's either bad, good, or indifferent. So like I say, we read these books, and this is going into everything's a lesson. Like even if you like say I'm tired of reading, I'm tired of doing this. Like I mean, of course there's benefits to doing whatever. Like you don't have to. You can watch people that have read books, but I mean now you have to understand you getting their perspective of that book. But you have to understand all this shit come from mine, no matter what. And if you truly holistic, you can understand that everybody's connected to you. Point blank, period. I don't give a fuck about race. I don't give a fuck about nationality. I don't give a fuck about culture. Like, period. Give a fuck about religion. Period. It's all from one source. It's all a reflection of one. So if you're really understanding that you are that, you're more than that reflection, and you are truly connected to everything too, or even if you are a reflection, you still connected to everything. Like, you have to like I said, I hate saying holistic because it feel like it's an easy cop out word, but it's like you have to understand, bro. Like no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're resonating with, even if you're not resonating with something, that's still a part of you. Period. Period, nigga. Like, because if it wasn't resonating with you, like it's like, oh my goodness, like. This is a tough one for me to break down. I'm trying to get into the bag. It's like, we talk about you can't know what bitter is without knowing sweet, but you gotta know bitter is it's something that you can taste. Like if it had no taste at all, you wouldn't be able to compare it to sweetness. I mean, I guess you could, because you'd be like, well, this don't have no taste and this is sweet. So it still has a taste in a sense. I'm really trying to. I'm fucking up. I'm fucking up because I'm like it's not like it makes sense, but I'm not resonating how I want to resonate with. I know I'm not. I'm not hitting it. I'm not hitting home like I want to. It's gonna come, but it's like you have to understand. Every conversation is a lesson to be learned about yourself, though. How you communicating in that conversation. How you period, what you take from that conversation. Are you the teacher are you the alpha, or are you the beta, are you the one doing more talking, are you doing less talking? Like why are you doing less talking? Is it like, do you respect this person? Like it's all a lesson to understand. Like everything is about understanding yourself, period. How you walk, how you talk, like how you write, how you make up your bed. Like it's a fucking reflection of your inner self. Like I was thinking, what would be one of the first lessons I would want to teach my kid, if I had one, of course. Like, it would be to understand everything has an internal reaction. Like, everything makes, every outside face, every time you see somebody in the face, they have it's something inner guiding them. I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't give a fuck if it's a corporation. I don't give a fuck Hood Mister was just talking about this. Like, we often judge stuff for the exterior and not the interior. That's the best way to explain it. That'd be one of the first things that I'll teach my kids. Like, you judge everything from the shit that you see on the outside, but you're not understanding why they're like that on the outside. Like, there's an internal reason. Period. Like, if somebody's crying, if somebody's like period. I know it's simple, but even when you go into corporations, it's not so simple. But everybody have interior motives, like, not period. Not the, I mean, you can say alternative motives, but no, interior motives. Like, everything moves from, what do you call it? They have a mission a mission statement or some shit like that, or a motto, or some like fight song or something. It represents their culture and what they believe in. If you really break it down, period. If you go into school spirit and all these different, from the mascot, like, they take on certain energies and like, period. Everything has an interior motive, like, and you have to understand that. And that's why no matter what you're doing, you learning about interior shit, which is a part of you. Because, I mean, everybody is a part of you. But let's see. I still want to hit home. I still want to get there. I still not, like, because it's there, but I know when I hit home type shit. Like, when the bat hit the ball, it's just a certain sound it make type shit. Like, you just know that one going over the fences. Like a nigga making songs, you know this a hit hitter. It's like, but damn, like, okay, when you watch a movie, when you come out of the movie and you feel like that character, or when you read a book and you putting yourself in that character's shoes, but you probably only put what this is how you understand yourself and what you gravitate to more and resonate to more. Why don't you put yourself in the villain's shoes? We easily did that for Killmonger. But we can try that with every movie. Try to look from the villain's perspective and be like, damn, maybe they was right, maybe they was wrong. And then you watch how you deal with people differently. Watch how you deal with relationships differently. Because it's not that they were right or wrong, but you understand you're the bigger person because you're looking at the bigger picture now. It's not just, oh, I'm like this, I'm like that, and they like that. But it's like, it's a reason for them being like that. And even though we didn't work together, it wasn't even that they was trying to hold me. They just was hurt. And we know hurt people. So that's almost my bad for dealing with hurt people. Or it's not my bad. I was hurt at the time and we both deal with each other. But now that I'm growing and they're not, it's time to move on. But that's hitting home for me. I feel like that one not the part. Like, when you put yourself, like, when you watch, like I said, when you read books or whatever, do you get in the motherly aspect? Do you look in the fatherly aspect? What shoes are you trying to stay in? What shoes do you like to, like, stay in the most? And I know some people might not even think that they'll think from that perspective, but, like, why would I look from the butler's shoes? Or why would I look from... But that's certain people's problem. That's why they don't have empathy for certain people. And, like, you don't have empathy for waitresses or waiters and servers and all these people. Like, because you don't never look at the people that came up from the bottom and shit like that until they made it or something like that. But why they right in front of you, same with the story G, why they in front of you, bro? Like, you ain't really trying to hear all that because you feel like you better than them. But it's like, if you really knew everybody, it's like, it's not really a better than, it's just you might be more in your space. And, like, that's not their fault. So it just is what it is. Like, being better than somebody don't necessarily mean you gotta put somebody down. Being better than somebody mean you can lift them up. Like, honestly, it's the complete opposite. A lot of people think they better than them, so I gotta put people down. But it's like, nigga, you flawed. You you missing shit. But yeah, it's like, look from all perspectives of the movie, bro, and see. And Ty Lopez talked about this shit. Like, most people get so stuck in that employment and working in employment because they never can think like a boss. And when you say think like a boss, just think about how many hours can I give to somebody? How much money I got to pay somebody? How much do I need to profit more than, like, how much expenses would I have? How much would I profit? Because most people as an employee, all you got to do is worry about clocking in and worry about picking your check up and doing, whatever job you got. But as an owner, you got to worry about everybody's job, what they doing, how much they pay, all these different aspects. And it's like, you have to flip that switch in a sense of perspective. And that's the same thing of being holistic. When you read a book, when you watch a movie, look from everybody's, not just the antagonist or the protagonist. sense. And that's how you get these programs and how people get into these like one-sided things, because they make the protagonist look so glamorous, in the sense that every time he succeed, every time he succeed, he get jewels, gold. He just everybody look at him like a god, in a sense, and that's what we kind of want, idolization of ourselves. But we need to do it we need to be the ones doing it, in a sense, and not looking for it. But in that same aspect, it's like when you look at the villain, they always in the slums, they always down bad, but that's not the case. That's just the case of the perspective they want to show you, so you don't resonate with certain shit, and not really look at that perspective, because everybody has to have a logical stance for it to be. I wouldn't. That's a little. It wouldn't. I shouldn't say logical. But Superman, like, in a sense of, they fight day-to-day crimes, but it's. I'm trying to see how I want to say this. For the most part, everybody has a perspective you can understand in the story. That's what makes good stories. Is levels to this shit, I guess I should say. Because, I mean, some stories, the villain don't really make sense, or the hero morals really don't make sense, so the story not as good. But when the story is truly fleshed out, everybody has a great perspective they can stand from, just like Black Panther. It might not have been a great visual movie, in the sense of animation couldn't have been better, but the fucking backstory, why black people love it so much, is because it dove into our culture and a lot of things that we've been dealing with, from, Africanism, and, us being over here and not just being separate as melanated people, period. And also the elitism versus it has so many different separations that we have today because of so many systems, and that's why it resonated with us so much. But it's like, if we only look from the elitists, like Wakanda, we should keep these people out of Wakanda. It's like, think about all the melanated people that you're leaving out, or all the people, period. Like Black Panther say, we're gonna help the whole world. So if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. But in the sense of, if they would be like, nah, we're gonna stay seclusive and y'all just keep having y'all wars, it's like, you can see them as being selfish. You can see how you can learn from them. It's many things, like, you can't say they're wrong, you can't say they're right, but you can see how you can learn from them. But if you just totally disregard the other side, it's like, well, damn, you missing the big picture, in the sense of, it was ways that they could have been even better as elitists. Like, it don't mean you got to change and be fully seclusive, but it is ways that you can implement and help people, in a sense. If you're so powerful, it shouldn't be really any like small shit that should bring you down. And if you're truly powerful and aware, and you really got a good foundation, you should be aware of bigger threats around you, and you shouldn't be really involved with them. Honestly, as we grow up, like I say, like with tests, like, bro, if you really confident, you really got your shit back, you really got wisdom, bro, it's really hard to defeat you, because wisdom is over almost everything. Wisdom and truth really go hand in hand. Like, that's like the next two things from divinity. Like, it's nothing really above truth, and it's only like three things above truth and wisdom type. Well, I wouldn't say wisdom, but I think wisdom and truth is hand in hand. Like, I think wisdom, like, fuck that element chart. I think wisdom is amplified truth, because truth is cool, but you can't do nothing with truth without actually implementing it. And I think that's where wisdom come in. Like, that's that magic in that word. Like, wisdom just sounds so magical. Just to, like, when you hear somebody have wisdom, like, that's you ultimately, or when you feel like somebody has wisdom, you ultimately respect them. So I feel like that's like, truth is like I said, it's the shit. But yeah, I think wisdom is that next step. But at least implementing it, in a sense. But yeah, I mean, bro, just realize what shoes you feeling, what people you trying to resonate with. And that's why I say, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you read, no matter what you're watching, it's a lesson to understanding yourself and how you watching these things, and how you observing, how you're listening, how you just holding, like, what like, do these things hold dear to your heart? Like, do you hate it at first glance? Like, why do you hate it so quickly? Why is it so opposed to you? Like, learn from that shit, because at the end of the day, like, it could really become what do you sense, a demon or a big enemy, because you ignored it, in a sense. But it's like, maybe it wasn't something you should ignore. Maybe if you would have understood it, you would have made it something that's, just more understanding or whatever. But that was a little wordy. But it is what it is. Try to just look from all perspectives. It don't mean you got to truly use it. Like, you don't have to use everything, because there's a season for everything. We talk about that. Like, some things gonna resonate with you more in certain seasons. So yeah, you use that because it's more powerful. Then you'll use other things. Like, if you're trying to build a fire, you don't use water. So you gotta understand, whatever you're building with, you need certain shit. And that's a talk about being an alchemist and creating certain passions and certain, drives and shit like that. But I'm out. Deuces. Think that's the last video. Who knows? Like, subscribe.